asking you, did the Prime Minister and the Environment Minister give you any timeline as to when action in both Vedanta as well as the Posco case can be expected?
Well, I think it will be done within the next few weeks. That's what Mr. Jairam, Ramesh said, and I certainly hope it will be.
Okay, you're saying you've been given the assurance that it will be done or action will be taken within the next few weeks. But Mr. Patnaik, what about the NC Saxena report? Sources in the capital seem to suggest that the mandate has been accepted. What is your reaction to the NC Saxena report?
As far as we are concerned, when you talk about both Vedanta Aluminium plant or the Posco steel plant, which I understand the Saxena committee has given its reports on, as far as the Supreme Court orders in the Vedanta plant is concerned, those orders, which certainly also touch very much upon tribal matters and forest matters, all those orders have been fulfilled. Also, it is our state's government great interest for our tribal people. Naturally, for them, a quarter of the population of Orissa is tribal.
Mr. Patnaik, the allegation and the charges are that these projects have an adverse impact on the environment. You've been trying to canvass support and say that the environmental impact assessment was indeed conducted by the Orissa government. How do you respond to those charges?
No, as I told you, we've looked into all those matters, including even the Supreme Court's orders on those matters have been followed.
Mr. Patnaik, Ellen Mittal's project has been moved now to Karnataka from Orissa. Are you concerned that the Posco project as well as Vedanta will probably move out too?
I certainly hope that it will not. As I repeat again, it is the biggest FDI in our country, and the Mittal project has not moved out of Orissa.
Okay, you're giving us an important clarification there that the Ellen Mittal project has not moved out of Orissa. But Orissa has a lot of natural resources and companies are clearly interested in investing here. What is your strategy going to be if indeed we see these prolonged battles, this back and forth that in some cases has gone on for almost 6 years?
Well, actually, as far as these companies are concerned, we're insisting on value addition within the state, that their plants must come up in the state. Naturally, by that, when the products are produced within the state, we get much more revenue. And as far as environment laws are concerned, forest laws are concerned, we certainly make every effort to follow those scrupulously.
All right, Naveen Patnaik, many thanks for joining us with your comments, your thoughts, and we wish you the best of luck with what the government decides as far as these two projects are concerned. Joining us now, NC Saxena, member panel on mining, and Dr. Mukesh Kumar, the CEO of Vedanta Aluminium. Gentlemen, many thanks for joining us. Mr. Saxena, if I can start by asking you, we've just heard the Orissa Chief Minister there. We've also seen the Orissa government writing to the Ministry of Environment saying that your report is shocking. It discusses issues in the most derogatory manner. What we are picking up at this point in time is that your report is going to be accepted by the government and they will go as per your recommendations. What is the sense that you have gotten from the government in terms of the acceptance of your report?
Well, in fact, in our report, a large number of facts have been mentioned. And I was very surprised to see that in Orissa government's letter, not a single fact has been, denied. They have not challenged the content. They are only looking at the style of the report, saying it derogatory, saying it is shocking. Why don't they say that the facts given are incorrect? In fact, if you look at Annexure 2 of the report, there is a letter from Orissa government which says that this factory has occupied 2.17 acres of land without getting clearance. There is a very thick file in the Ministry of Environment and Forest which alleges that 26 hectares of forest land is in their occupation without any clearance under the Forest Conservation Act. And the factory has
expanded its capacity. If you can hold that thought, sir. If you can hold that thought, because I just want to respond to that charge that you've actually brought on this diversion of land that you actually talk about, because I'm holding in my hand a letter from the Ministry of Environment dated the 28th of March 2005, which says very, very clearly, in this regard, I'm directed to inform you that the Ministry of Environment Forests has noted the request of the state government and closed the proposal. Further, there is no action pending in respect to forestry clearance of the project, and this is with regards to this diversion of 58.943 hectares of land that your report has also talked about. This is a clearance by the Ministry of Environment dated the 28th of March 2005,
in fact, it doesn't amount, sorry, it doesn't amount to clearance. Clearance has to be given under the Forest Conservation Act. This is only, this is only saying that we have noted. In fact, we have said in our report that even Government of India has colluded in this matter, and without, first of all, the company says we do not require forest land. Then they occupy forest land, and Government of India and the state government says, okay, do it. We have just pointed out that this is not according to the law of the land. This is not according to the Forest Conservation Act.
Okay, sir, hold that thought, because I'm going to get in the other point of view here. Mukesh, Kumar joins us now from Vedanta. Mr. Kumar, you've just heard Mr. Saxena. They're talking about the allegations in terms of diversion of land and the other charges that they made with regards to violation of the Forest Act and so on and so forth. How would you respond to the charges that have been made by the NC Saxena report? Specifically these charges.
I just want to clarify there is no violation. As far as 2.17 hectare area, what Dr. Saxena has just told, it was shown to all the committee members that it is lying open where no even boundary has been constructed. If there is an area open where no boundary has been constructed, how a law has been violated? Coming to the second point, where they have told 27 hectare area is there, if you see the letter what you have referred just now, it is given very clearly that this area need to be protected, demarcated and developed as a green belt. These were the pockets which were there for Gramin Jangal Yogya Zameen, which have been rehabilitated and relocated. So these pockets every committee member has seen has been developed by us as a green belt, and not even a single inch construction has been taken up under that area. So we don't know
to put it simply,
green belt development is a violation.
To put it simply, Mr. Mukesh Kumar, you are then denying the allegations that you're in violation of the FCA, the FRA and the EPA as well as the Orissa Forest Act. In one line, are you denying those allegations? You are. All right.
Yes,
Mr.
we are strongly denying this.
Okay, Mr. Saxena, let's talk about local protest. So with regards to this project in particular, you yourself, I understand, visited the site between the 6th of July and the 19th of July, or at least the 10th or 12th of July, if I've got my dates correct, sir. Can you take me through the kind of opposition that you saw for yourself when you visited the site?
Well, we have four members visited this area. I visited in the beginning of July, and other members visited in the middle of July. Not only we found that there were violations of the Forest Conservation Act and the Environmental Protection Act, but there were also very serious violations of the Forest Rights Act, which of course company doesn't have to do anything with that. It is for the government of Orissa to ensure that Forest Rights Act is implemented. Now, what does the Act say? In very simple terms, it says that if a certain area is being used by tribals, then this area should be recognized as the people having rights there. So it is an undisputed fact that on this area, which is being proposed to be transferred for mining, people have been using it for grazing, for collecting amla, for collecting tubers, and it has been for a large number of other medicinal herbs. And therefore, under the Forest Rights Act, this should have been recognized by the Orissa government. Orissa government hasn't done it, because the Orissa government wants the area to be diverted from mining. So first of all, you have to recognize the right.
If I can interrupt you, sir, and ask you a very specific question. I understand that the terms of reference for your committee were issued on the 29th of June 2010. I also understand the terms of reference were changed on the 19th of July by an ordinance of the Ministry of Environment. Why were the terms of reference for your committee changed, sir, midway?
You should ask this question from the ministry. Why did they change it? Since we said that since we are going there, so we should look at all the facts. And they agreed with our recommendation and they changed the terms of reference. Initially it was only to look at Forest Rights Act, its impact on ecology and impact on human lives and wildlife, etc. And then they made slightly broader. So you should ask this question from the ministry. Yes?
Okay, sir, the argument that's been made by Naveen Patnaik to both Jairam, Ramesh as well as the Prime Minister is that we are complying with the Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court on the 8th of August in 2008 had cleared this project. The company Vedanta has deposited 150 crore rupees with the Government of India in compliance with what the Supreme Court had said. Why do we need another committee to actually go on and look at these issues that the matters have already been cleared by the court?
I did not set up the committee. You should ask this question from the people who set up the committee. First of all, Supreme Court has said that act according to law. Forest Rights Act is a new law. This law, I've seen the judgment of the Supreme Court, was not considered by the Supreme Court. And secondly, the opinion of the Attorney General was taken, and he said that you can go ahead and examine all the issues. But in any case, this question should be asked to the ministry. As far as I am concerned, I am all for mining, I am all for private investment, I am all for industrialization. It should not be at the cost of local people. Why should the poorest lose out? Why should the poorest be harmed? And this should gain.
Fair point, sir.
This kind of...
Fair point, sir. You're making a fair point, so let me put that point to Mukesh Kumar. Mukesh Kumar, respond to NC Saxena. They're saying that he is for private investment, he is for companies like you getting into the mining space, but you need to look after the interests of the local population. You're saying you have the support of the local population. NC Saxena, they're saying he's visited the project site himself and he's found that there has been opposition to your project.
I think Dr. Saxena has not told that he has found opposition. He has told, he has seen the violation, but he has not talked anything about opposition. And I respect Dr. Saxena because when he visited and other committee members visited, they found all-round support for the project from the local community. Because the type of development we have done there, our effort is to bring these poor tribal people, what Dr. Saxena has told, into the mainstream. Because taking birth in a tribal family is not
Mr. Kumar, hold that thought. Hold that thought. You're saying that there were some members of the committee who actually agreed to Vedanta's point of view that a lot of work had been done in developing that area, a lot of work had been done for the betterment of the local population. Be specific, sir. Who are you which committee member said so?
Simple fact is
I think even Dr. Saxena also will agree with the type of development we have done. The type of school, DAV school, the type of infrastructure facilities, type of communication, type of medical facilities, type of irrigation facilities. Dr. Saxena himself can confirm the type of change he has seen from his previous visit sometime in 2002, 2003 to now. The total area has changed. It is
Mr. Saxena, would you at least agree that Vedanta has done enough?
Yes. I have visited their projects in Udaipur and Chittorgarh. They are doing good work in midday meals program. Even in Lanjigarh, I must say that they are trying their best to promote, cottage industries, etc. They have a school or a hospital. But what about this? This may be helping some of the local people, certainly, but not the poorest people. Why should a poor person oppose a project if I find that it is in my self-interest? Now, the fact is that according to the law of the land, that is Forest Rights Act, and also according to the circular from Orissa government itself, issued on 20th October 2009, if you want a certain land to be diverted for non-forestry purpose, you have to take the permission of the Gram Sabha, you have to take their consent. Why is the administration not going to the people? Why are they not approaching them and asking them, look, are you supporting it or not? No one from administration has gone to the people. They are scared of going to the people because they know that the people are not in favor of this. If there was really good development, if the credibility of government had been established, if past projects had helped the tribals, surely they would have said, yes, we want this project. But that is not the case.
So, Mr. Saxena, if I were to ask you in one line, sir, do you see or would you like to see Vedanta out of this area? You're saying that Vedanta should not be given permissions, should not be allowed to continue work as far as the Niyamgiri mines are concerned.
Well, Vedanta will certainly continue to be in this area because they are getting raw material from Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. And in fact, in Orissa, in Kalahandi and Raigada, we were told that there are sites where bauxite is available. So I wish them well, and I'm sure they will continue. But my only request to them would be, please look at the interests of the poorest. Why do you displace people and not give them jobs? Why do you not look after the interests of those who are dependent on forest lands? And if you cannot convince them, if you can convince them, they will certainly give in writing that we are very happy with your project. That's not happening.
Mukesh Kumar, respond to that.
Sir,
how many jobs have you actually been able to create? How many jobs have you been able to create, courtesy your operations that are currently on there? And if indeed the government goes along and actions the NC Saxena report, what are the alternatives that Vedanta is looking at?
First thing, we have created direct and indirect job, which is more than 8 to 10,000 jobs we have created in that area, because earlier lot of migration was there from that area for a small amount. That migration has been stopped. All 121 families have been displaced, and out of which 76 families were having employable member, and all the family member have been given direct job. Mine area, we have not even entered also into that area. But here only one thing I just want to clarify: Forest Right Act and PISA Act both goes together, and PISA says if you are granting prospective license or mining lease to a minor minerals, then only Gram Sabha is required, otherwise public consultation has to be followed. For Lanjigarh project, we have done 10 Gram Sabha, 2 public hearing, 1 Panchayat Samiti, and I think Dr. Saxena will agree that we have followed all the law of the PISA, FRA and everything. As far as the mines is concerned, because since there is no displacement involved in that area, not even a single person will be displaced in that area, and it is not a minor mineral. For that, public consultation has been done as per the EIA notification 2006. So as on today, we have complied with all the things, but we are committed for generating employment in that area to improve the life of the tribal people there and to bring them into the main.
Answer my second question, Mr. Kumar. Yes, Mr. Saxena, go ahead.
What Mr. Mukesh Kumar is saying is only partly true. If there was no Forest Rights Act, then under PESA, certainly the Gram Sabha has a right over minor minerals and not over major minerals. But after the enactment of Forest Rights Act, things have changed. And in fact, there is a circular from Orissa government, there is a circular from Government of India as to how forest lands should be diverted for non-forest purposes after Forest Rights Act. My only request to Orissa government is to follow their own orders, which they issued in 20th October 2009. And the other point I would like to mention here is that displacement is defined in this project very narrowly. It is only when you lose your land or you are physically displaced, you are displaced. Unfortunately, a large number of people lose their jobs. They may not be physically displaced.
Point taken, Mr. Saxena.
They may not lose their land. So therefore, that should also be considered for alternative employment or for...
I'm completely running out of time, gentlemen. Mr. Mukesh Kumar, final words with you. As I said, if the government were to accept the recommendations of the Saxena committee, and of course, if Naveen Patnaik's visit with the Prime Minister and Jairam Ramesh doesn't really help matters much or help matters for you and for POSCO, what is the alternative? What is plan B for Vedanta?
I don't think that situation will ever arise. What Dr. Saxena has also told, he is also for the pro-industry, for the project and everything. And I think things will be resolved amicably to the satisfaction of all stakeholders.
All right.